Well, good morning, everybody. Hey, I know I haven't been here in a while, so I thought it was about time to get started up on my Facebook Lives again, especially when there's this adorable bundle called Be My Valentine. The stamp set, super sweet. The punch, it's a bee builder punch. And then the designer series paper, it's called Be Mine, and it is beautiful. Yes, pun intended. So anyway, these are the 3 cards that I'm going to share with you today. And then I have a couple other ones to just show you what they look like. So what else I've created with them. So this is going to be the first one that I want to work on and share. So let me get my act together, which might be a tough call. I'm out of practice, so bear with me. Anyway, I have a lot of the pieces and parts right here. It's a pool party base. If you follow me, you know I love my top folding cards. That means it's 11 by 4 1/4. The score line is right down the middle at 5 1/2. Inside, I just have a piece of the white cardstock, 4 by 5 1/4, stamped it up with stamps that are in that stamp set. I also have then another piece of 4 by 5 1/4 white. I love my layers, so this was exactly what I did, was layer up a lot. I have now, this is 3 3/4 by 5. This is petal pink is the color. And again, I went ahead and did some stamping just so that it's kind of already done and out of the way. So let me see if I have a good glue bottle here. Who knows? I'm just going to go ahead, adhere all of this together, and then get it down onto the card base. Normally, I wait until I get everything on the front before I adhere it down to the card base, but I'm going to live on the edge now and just go ahead and get it all put down. So, all right, let me bring in my pool party base. So how is everyone doing for the new year here? I do not do resolutions. I call them goals instead. It just sounds better for me. And yeah, again, I really don't do a lot of them. So probably because I'm not very good at keeping them. So anyway, this is the Be Mine paper, this piece here, 2 by 4. I just had this piece that was left over, so it was just some scrap. I know it's a different design, but I went ahead and I'm using this one instead of the trail of the bee. So this one will go down first. Look at that. I mean, how cute is that? So let me go ahead and get the 2 by 4 down. And I'm just going to put it over here on the left side. And now this piece, again, from that Be Mine DSP, this one is 1 1/2 by 3. All right. And this one, I'm going to have it flush with this side on the right here with the petal pink. So just a quick way to put in. You can definitely do this with any paper you have, and you don't have to use those measurements. If you're like, oh, I have a scrap piece that's 2 by 3, go ahead and use it. You know what I mean? So use what you've got. So, all right, I'm just going to pop this off to the side, just show the bee. I mean, so stinking cute. I stamped the body in Daffodil Delight on just a scrap piece of white cardstock. And then the stripes and the stinger are a separate stamp. So a little bit of 2-step stamping. And then that was done in the black. Now then you can go ahead and use that builder punch, the bee builder punch that out. The other thing then is this little stamp to do the antenna. Again, stamped in black, and then punch that out as well. It's all part of the punch. I'll bring the punch in a second. But isn't that adorable? Look at that little heart then that you can punch out. So I think that's fantastic. So So I went ahead, oh, and then a separate stamp yet is the eyes and mouth. So cute. So anyway, I went ahead and adhered those together. So here again is the punch. So here's the body. This is what I used then for the antenna. Like I said, you can certainly punch a bunch of those out and have hearts then to use on your project. Same with this bigger one. It looks like a heart as well. It actually then doubles as a punch for the wings. Now, let me find my paper here. I actually used vellum. So let me see if I have, it might be easier to, if you see it on white, okay? So I stamped this on the vellum. I used Coastal Cabana, just wanted it a little bit darker. So just stamped it ahead of time because it does take a little bit of time to dry being on the vellum. Now, let's go ahead. I think I actually have that upside down. So one of the things is when you look at the back of your punch, if I were to punch this one out first, look how I'm also then punching out this little heart right here. So if you want to, with these builder punches, you need to just kind of think about where to stamp it so that when you go to punch it, you're not getting a lot of waste then here. So let me switch this around because I can't do it left-handed. So, all right, that's lined up not too shabby. Let's go ahead and punch that. So I don't have a lot of waste on my vellum that way. All right, so that's just with the stamping with the Coastal Cabana. What I went ahead and did then on the back side of it is I pulled out one of my blends. I'm using the Dark Pool Party. And I don't know which is the front and which is the back with the vellum. So anyway, I'm just going to go ahead and just add a little bit of color onto these wings. So I don't think you're going to be really able to tell that there is color back there or there isn't. But I just thought that needed that little bit of color added on. Now that is on the back of the vellum. On the front of the vellum then, I got my Wink of Stella pen and added some sparkle because as we know, every bee needs to have a little bit of sparkle in their life. Now here again, make sure you set this aside and give it a chance to dry. Being on the vellum, it just takes a little bit of extra time. So, but you've got that nice little shiny wing now to add to your bee. So let me set that off to the side while it dries. And I already have one that I made. Let me bring my paper back in here. Well, I don't think I'll need that. So here's my vellum wing. Let's get a little touch of glue on it. And for this one, I am just going to put it right on the back of my little bee. Super cute. And now let's add some dimensionals. Now I'll add a couple to the body. As you know, I love my dimensionals. So that's the regular dimensionals, but I also, with the little antenna here, I'm going to put a little mini dimensional there, just so it has a chance to pop up as well. So this is all that's left, is to get our bee on here. Oh, and a few embellishments. Yeah, I'll show you those because those are pretty awesome. All right, so anywhere you like your bee to go, I just had him sort of flying up a little bit, and boom, there is that cute card. Okay, so I am going to find, these are adhesive back hearts and flowers. This is all part of the suite of this Be My Valentine, and can I just say these are a must. I think they're adorable, love the colors, the mix of the hearts and the flowers, and the fact that they're flat. So when you want to mail out your cards then, which I hope you do, these are great for it then. So I'm just gonna mix it up a little bit. I put nothing but hearts on that one, but let's just go ahead. get a little bit of a variety here. I'm going to put a flower along with some hearts then. So let's do a blue one. And there we go. Now it's complete, right? Those embellishments always do it. So, okay, so let me set that one aside. The next one is right here. I had to do nothing but the designer series paper. And a little play off of this design is the sentiment that you're as sweet as honey. So that was all one straight stamp. I don't know if I have the strip that I used and stamped on, but it just goes all the way across. What I ended up doing was trimming it down. Excuse me. You can also trim down your stamp and have it be what you want as far as separated, but I just went ahead, stamped it all the way across on a strip, and then cut it down that way. So here are the pieces and parts for this one. Daffodil Delight is the card base for this. Again, the top folding, and inside, again, just a sentiment, a thank you sentiment that I found out of another stamp set then. I have then a piece of the basic white for the front that is 4 by 5 1/4. Let me get some things out of the way. Here we go. Now, designer series paper. This piece is 3 3/4 by 3 1/4. And then that makes the strip, the honey pots, then they're 3 3/4 wide, and then 1 3/4 of an inch tall. So let's go ahead and get this put down. So here's the back side of that. Adorable again. So let's go ahead and get this on. Let me flip this around. I don't know why I have to do this sometimes upside down. And now the honey pots can go in. So this is that piece then that was on the first card sample with all those, the trail of the bee. So now this, I always kind of start it that it's up against the piece, but in case I don't quite match it up perfectly this way, I have a piece of ribbon then that I can always cover that seam up. Now, again, this is the Sweet Sorbet ribbon that I can't find right now to tell you exactly. Oh, here it is. This is beautiful ribbon. It really is. And it is bordered ribbon. So it is really nice. I mean, it ties nicely. And I love the color of it. So this I'm going to, like I said, just put straight across the seam to kind of hide that. Fold it to the back. And I just use some tape. I actually have double-sided tape right here in a dispenser, and that's what I use to hold my ribbons. So now I'm ready to put this, attach this down to my card base. So, uh-oh, am I running out of glue already? But by having that double-sided tape, then, I mean, there's another form of adhesive for me that's going to keep that held down nicely, not only to this layer, but to the card base as well. Okay. All right, so that's down. My sentiment, like I said, I have that already cut out, dimensionals behind it. Now this bee, I decided to have him flying sort of up this direction instead. That's what you can do here, is have him going in all kinds of directions. Same thing as the first bee as far as the way I did it. Instead, I just added 2 wings instead of the 1. Popped them up, and let's do that real quick. So this is perfect layout for any paper that you have, any sentiments that you have. It's just, it's fabulous. Then you can show off your ribbons. So I love it because I can mix my patterns here of the papers then. So all right, let's just pop one up here and another one. I'm just going to put it down here just to kind of help hold my ribbon down as well. All right, time to embellish. So let's find a couple flowers to put in here. And that's what I love these flowers. Let me go with that one, the white, red, and then we're also going to get a blue one in here too. So, okay, so card number 2, done. Let's get on to card number 3. Now, another thing that I like to do, well, I am going to try to do more often, is I get so hung up on sort of like the main feature of a stamp set. So for me, the bee in this case, but as you can see, there are some flowers stamps also in this set. So I thought it would be fun then this time to make a card without the bee and just using those flowers. So that's what I did here. Let me pull in. So I have Sweet Sorbet card base, top folding. I have then, let me go with these. My squares are 1.5 by 1.5. Obviously I have these 2 stamped. This one I want to do something different, so that's why I did not stamp the flowers yet, and I'll explain it as we go. Then, because I love to layer, I have a piece of petal pink. This is 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. My white is the 4 by 5 1/4 rather. So these two are going to get adhered on, and there's just a tiny little layer of the petal pink underneath. I love bringing in color that way with layers. Now, talking about more layers, Sweet Sorbet, it is 5 1/4 by 1 3/4. The Daffodil Delight is also the same, 5 1/4. However, it is now 1 5/8. So that way it is just 1/8 of an inch difference in width here for my squares. Now, the thing that I wanted to just point out with the sample, once I was all done, I looked at it, and the flowers are just too uniform. They're all the same. Everything is just too predictable. I don't know. But so what I want to do is, for this one, I'm going to just switch it up by having the red flower here and the yellow flower here. I think that'll be just enough of a change that it won't make me kind of cringe when I look at this one, that it's all in a nice little row. So the stems, what I ended up doing is I put them both on a block, and then I was able to stamp them in some green. It is the Granny Apple Green. Wow, there we go. Actually, no, I take that back. I did it in Lemon Lime Twist is what I did the stems in. The flowers are then going to be in Sweet Sorbet and Daffodil Delight. So let me just move these out of the way. I have this flower that's going to be the red one. So like I said, I'm going to move it over onto this side. And then the Daffodil Delight will be, as soon as I can find that ink pad, this other flower. Now you can certainly add a bee to this, but like I said, this is something I want to try and do and use a variety of the stamps within a stamp set, not just the one that's sort of, I don't want to say the main image, but definitely the bees are sort of the ones in this stamp set that do it for you. So, okay, let me go ahead, bring in the yellow. I'm going to I adhered these straight down. You can certainly pop these up if you want to. And I can't believe I'm saying that I did not. So I'm going to go ahead and adhere them down. I am really stepping out of my usual with this one, aren't I? So, okay. So I like to do, when I'm doing something like this where I'm stacking them or putting them side by side, I like to do the top and the bottom first and then insert the center one. So let's do just that. Let me turn that one sideways. And I know they will fit. Sometimes you can lay them out ahead of time to make sure that they're going to fit for you, but I already know that this one will. So, all right. So let's go ahead and all right. The stems and everything are still going the same way, but the color of the flower and the flowers really helps my eye kind of look all the way down and see the gentle chaos, I guess, of the layout. So that is definitely something better there for me. So whichever way you like it, you do it and you do you. All right, so here we go. I have that sweet sorbet strip that's 1 3/4 wide that I'm going to adhere that to. And now I'm going to go ahead and adhere this directly to the white. I have not put the white down to that petal pink yet, just in case my strip here is too long and I need to kind of trim it up a little bit. So okay, there we go. So now I'm going to put this down to my petal pink layer. Remember, it is only 1/8 of an inch bigger. So 4 1/8 by 5 3/8 for that one. And that's why I like the liquid glue. When I do these little mini margins here, it gives me that wiggle time that I can make sure that I get it fairly straight. I'm an eyeballer. I'm okay with all of that. So if you like to measure, sometimes those mini little skinny layers are hard if you like to have it really super straight. So, but I do recommend using the glue then. So, all right. So here is the non-bee card then instead. So, all right, let's get some of these fun. I'm going to put a heart in here then as well. So there we go. Ah, much better. This is the sample one that I was like, eh. This one I do like so much better than just by altering those colors then. So, all right, tell you what, let me bring in the other 2 cards then as well. Notice I have the one that I like better of those. So here they are. And then I did promise a couple more that I made. So you may have already seen these 2. Stampin' Up! Held their convention. It's called On Stage, and it was a virtual event. And we did the stamping of making these cards, this one and this one. So, I mean, look how cute it is, just in black and white. I mean, I think that's fantastic. And then just that little bit of paper using the honeycomb to create a background as well. And then I just happened to make one more here then. I really wanted to highlight this paper. I really, really liked it. And so made it into a Valentine's Day card. So these are my Bee My Valentine cards. Thank you so much for watching me. My goal is to continue doing these videos every Friday, so be on the lookout, and I'll look and can't wait to see you as well. All right, thanks so much. Bye now.